Hey, Eric here with 5 Stone. Today's gear review topic is going to be over the Kershaw Shuffle. No, it's not a dance move, even though it sounds like it. This is actually the name of the blade, a Kershaw Shuffle. There's different versions of this one. This is the original version, and I really like it. It's one of my everyday carries. Guys, I use this about 4 days a week. I have used it. I really enjoy this blade. So whenever we give our review topics, we've actually got a category that we use. It's instead of a 5-star rating, it's a 5-stone rating. Kind of catchy, huh? So our 5-stone rating is based off of 5 main points that we review on. We review these things on your quality, performance, reliability and durability, affordability, because that's very important for everybody. Well, I shouldn't say everybody, most of us, me included. And practicality, and that's probably our biggest one. So those 5 areas is what we judge on. On each one of those 5 points, we have a scoring system: a 0, a 0.5, or a 1. 0 pretty much means that it does not meet, it is not par for that category. 0.5, it's middle of the road. Yeah, it's okay. It can use some improvement, but it's okay. And a 1 is just outstanding. We've got a lot of experience with knives and tools and guns, and so we're going to review a lot of things, but to get a 5-stone rating, it's got to pretty much knock it out of the park. So stay tuned. We're going to change this camera and go give you a tabletop review, give you some detailed specs, and see if this might be a tool that you want to add to your personal inventory. All right, let's go. So here we are at the gun bench, and we're going to go over this Kershaw a little bit more detail for you guys. So again, this is the Kershaw Shuffle. This is the first version. Kind of some general overview of the knife. It's a very compact, considered a deep carry knife, which means it sits pretty far down inside the pocket. See how this clip is up here on the very tip. So when it's down in the pocket, it's down. There's not a whole lot of hardware sticking out above. It's also a adjustable clip, which we'll go over here in a little bit. And it's a thumb stud opening. And if you're not real familiar with what a thumb stud opening knife is, some of you may not be, you can see literally these little studs here on each side of the blade is made so you take your thumb and you just flip open the blade that way, okay? And whenever you close the blade, it's a simple thing as moving this lock slide over in here and bringing it back and closing it again, okay? It's not an automatic knife or anything like that. It's just a manual operation, but it does have the thumb stud to help the process. And the blade is made of a Chinese steel, HCR 13 MOV steel. The handle is a glass-filled nylon. They call it K texture, but if you look real close, it's the K for Kershaw. It's all over the handle of this knife, and I really do like that. It's kind of cool looking, and it really gives it some good texture for grip. So let's get into the specifics of this thing. Where is it made? Well, I tried to look on their website and really get the specifics of that, and had some kind of issues trying to find the answer. Pretty much they're made in 3 different countries: the US, Japan, and China. Could it be a combination of both? Yeah, possibly. Maybe the blade itself was made in China, the handle made in Japan, and assembled here, vice versa. Not sure. But do not let that discourage you from this knife, okay? This is a good tool, and we'll go over why in just a little bit. It's black. Obviously, this one is the black blade. They've got some that's got the beaded coated blade. They've got some, I think it's like a teal colored handle. They've got some different colors. You can check them out if you don't want just black. The dimensions of this thing. The overall length of this knife folded up, okay, is 3.25 inches. Whenever you unfold it, the overall length is 5.75 inches. So let's kind of give a comparison, okay? I'm going to put it here folded up, and I'm going to give you a comparison. Let's see, I've got stuff off to the side here. Here's a 9mm round. So kind of give you it's very small and very compact, okay? A lot of people carry a Glock 19. Here's a Glock 19. Kind of give you a comparison to the size, okay? Standard Glock magazine there. So hopefully that kind of helps you understand, you know, in comparison to like maybe your other everyday carry tools. Unfolded, of course, you know, it's 5.75 inches, so it's a little bit longer than your Glock mag. I think it's the size of that, I think, is very good. The weight of this is only 2.8 ounces. The blade length, just the blade length, is 2.4 inches. And that's important because a lot of your jobs, if you work, on bases or wherever you might be at, may have a restriction for the length of the blade. This is 2.4 inches, so it will qualify for under a 3-inch blade for some people if that's what their category is, or a 2.5-inch blade even. The handle length is 3.5 inches, and the width of this handle that I measured at with the caliper here was 0.4 inches. Now that is not including the clip. That's just the actual width of the handle here, okay? Not including the clip that you see right there, okay? So, blade construction. Like I said, it's HCR 13 MOV. What in the heck does that even mean, and why is it important? Well, your entry grade steel for these knives, typically your everyday carry knives or even whatever, are 420 stainless, okay? So with 420 stainless, like I said, it's kind of your entry grade. They do have a 420 HC, a little bit of a higher carbon content, and they've got another grade of the 420. And then you kind of step up to the next level. When you step up to the next level, there's whenever you hit your AUS 8 or AUS 8, some people call it. That's a Japanese-made steel. That's really kind of where this one falls in line too. And you know that's what this is. But if you turn the blade over and look right in there, you'll see HCR 13 MOV, China. So this blade was likely made in China. Please, again, do not let that deter you. People see that and they get uninterested in these knives. Please don't do that. This is a very good quality steel, okay? The differences in steels, if you are not real familiar, it also goes by a rating scale for the hardness, which is called a Rockwell hardness scale, okay? You might see it stamped on a blade sometimes, say RC, because the scale is actually called scale C. So R for Rockwell and C for scale C, an RC scale. So pretty much it measures the hardness of the steel. It takes a little diamond tip with this special tool that pushes down and makes a divot and measures the hardness. So everybody's like, oh, well, a higher number is always best. Not really, okay? Sometimes the harder the steel, the more actually fragile it might be. You're more apt to chip. It may not be as pliable and bendable as some other types of steel. A lot of your everyday carries are more pliable. Some of your things like throwing blades, throwing knives, things like that may be a little bit softer because it's having constant hard impact, so it kind of has some give to it. This one right here is typically rated on the higher end of the Rockwell scale at 58 to 59. So it's not, well, I shouldn't say it's not, but it's probably not intended for a high impact tool. It's made for more of a utility knife. So with that being said, I think it's an excellent choice of steel that Kershaw chose for this blade. Sometimes, the higher the hardness scale, you have some chips and stuff that may be hard to get out, but I don't have any, as you can see. I have not even sharpened this blade, and it's still just razor sharp. It's a good blade. So as we go on down, we're going to talk about the finish of this one. Like, again, it's just like a powder coated, but they do have the bead blast finish. The handle construction is a glass filled nylon texture grip. And this clip is where I think Kershaw really hit it out of the park. So I'm going to grab this little punch so you can see. It attaches here with these little screws up here at the end. This is made on this side to carry right pocket. So if you're right-handed, typically you would carry this in your right pocket. Where Kershaw hit this out of the park, and a lot of manufacturers don't do this, simply put 2 more screws on this side. So if you're left-handed, you could flip that over and carry it in your left pocket and have easier access. So that's a very good point for that. Also, it has a bottle opener for your sodas that are constantly made in glass bottles nowadays. And you have this clip at the end. So a lanyard could be through there. It could be used for a screwdriver, or a little pry, something like that. So it does have some multi-tool functions, and I actually like that about the blade. So our rating system, again, we got 5 points: quality, performance, durability, affordability, and practicality. You can get a 0, a 0.5, or a 1. So at the end of the day, end of the scoring, the maximum score you can get is 5 stones. We don't go by the star rating, we use 5 stones. So we'll start with quality. In quality, we gave it a 1. Okay, the highest rating, because the steel is very good quality, comparable to the AUS 8, It's got a very good grip. It's a solid knife. Like I said, I use it all the time, and it's not getting weak. I mean, wobbly. It is so tight and just in good shape. This clip's not getting loose and wore out. It's a good quality knife. I really like the quality. People may say, "Oh man, there's better knives out there." Well, sure there are. More expensive knives or whatever. But for its intended purposes, I think it definitely gets a 1 stone for the quality. Performance is our next point. We gave this a 0.5, so middle of the road. Now, the reason being, yes, it's excellent for its intended purposes, but I think the size of it almost gives it a little bit of limitation. And the other thing, too, that we've noticed is it's got a little bit of tight opening and closing action. So if you're not real familiar with how these work, there's a piece of metal in here, a piece of steel that you push over and slide to open and close. And it's very hard to see, but there's a little stud in there that rubs on that knife that whenever you close it in there, then it locks it into place and you'll hear it click. It's kind of tight when it opens and kind of difficult to close it sometimes because this is just so tight. It's a good safety mechanism, don't get me wrong. That's probably why they made it that way. It makes it very safe, but you can have some trouble getting that slid over. So for the performance of it, that I wish could be a little bit of an improvement, so we gave it a 0.5. Durability and reliability, I give it a 1. Okay, this thing seems very durable and reliable. As far as the functionality goes of it, I've used this knife a lot. John Conover's used his knife a lot, and we've had no problem with it as far as the reliability of the material itself. Do kind of wonder if this constant hard rubbing in there where that is so tight will eventually wear down a groove in that and make it weaker. I don't know. Maybe it won't. We'll find out with more time. But anyway, it got a 1 on that. The affordability. You get a price range on these things of around $20 to $30, which is very affordable for most people, guys. I mean, this is not a very expensive knife for the quality that you get. So we give that a 1. Okay? So our final is practicality. And this was kind of a difficult one for us. The practicality, for its intended purposes, is it practical? Yeah, but there's one con that just really made me go down to a 0.5. And that's the size of the handle being so compact. If you have large hands like I do, you instinctively want to grab the blade up here to get a better grip on the handle. When you do, your finger is setting right on that sharp edge. And I have actually cut myself with this same blade before because just a little bit of motion and that finger comes up and just will give you little nicks on your finger. I think maybe they could have improved that a little bit maybe and just not made this part of the blade sharp yet. Started the blade up there a little bit more. I'm not real sure, but yeah, that's an issue if you have larger hands. Because if you want to come down here and hold it, you feel like you just don't have as much control over the tool itself. So you just instinctively want to grab it up here and hold it a little bit tighter. But with that being said, we gave it a 0.5. So our total score is 4 stones, which is remarkable. To get a 5 stone, 4.5 stone, we got some pretty stringent requirements. We know our tools and we know our weapons, and this is a really good one. It did score 4 stones. I'm proud to say. I think you guys should seriously consider it if it's something you think you could use in your own personal collection. Check it out and see about getting it. Hopefully, we'll be carrying Kershaw soon. I'm in the process of working on that now. I don't know what the process will be. But if not, we'll try to help you guys out, get a resource where you can get those at. But, you're looking at $20, $30 for these knives, and they're awesome. So, anyway, that's our detailed review. Hope it was helpful for you guys. Thank you so much for all that you do for us. Please continue to like our videos, share our videos. Please subscribe to us on YouTube so the word gets out more. We want to be your guys' one-stop shop for these professional reviews and our hot topic interviews and everything. And we look so forward to getting more of these videos out. We got a lot more coming. And thank you guys so much for checking us out. Until then, God bless America, and fight for your family and fight for your Second Amendment rights. Have a good day.